Hi everyone, this is Jim Todd with SongSurgeon, and today I'd like to do a quick sneak peek and take a look at SongSurgeon version 4 for Mac. So we're going to start by dividing up this presentation into two sections. The first, we're going to focus on the changes that are going to be found in the standard version or the standard model of SongSurgeon, and then we'll follow that up with the changes found in the Pro version. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, with the standard version, one of the features you're going to notice right away is the addition of multiple loops, or actually an unlimited number of loops. So unlike the previous version where you could only set up one loop at a time, the new version allows you to set up multiple, or in fact an unlimited number of loops. A second feature found in this new version is what we call Speed Trainer. Speed Trainer is found down here by clicking the Edit button and opening up the Loop Edit section, and if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see Speed Trainer. Essentially what Speed Trainer does, it allows you to set a beginning and an ending tempo and a percentage change, and then every time SongSurgeon loops, it will increase by that percentage change. So for example, if we set this at 5% for a change and start at 50% here, that means it'll loop and it'll play at 50, then 55, then 60, then 65, etc. So that's a real neat feature that a lot of people really like. Another feature is a built-in limiter. Now this isn't something I can show you, but I can just very briefly explain it to you, and that is when you have highly compressed files, and by that I mean files in which the graphing here almost pushes the envelope or the boundaries. When you make small changes by key and pitch adjustments, sometimes that can cause these files to clip. And when a file clips, you'll hear a distortion or a crackling. Well, with version 4, we built in a limiter so that on these types of highly compressed files, it prohibits or stops this type of clipping from occurring. Another thing that we've done in version 4 is increase the zoom level. As you will recall, last time we could zoom into 1 second. Now we can zoom into a half a second, and this just gives us greater ability to get closer to the data and to more precisely set loop points. Another feature is the customization of the tempo buttons, and that is, if you look at these buttons over here in version 3, these were set at a specific amount, and now you're going to be able to adjust these and set these to your own custom level. So if you commonly use 65%, for example, as an adjustment, you can customize these to meet your needs, and you could change one of these to 65%. Another feature found in version 4 standard is something we call export duplicate count, and that is if we go to export, we have this additional field down here at the bottom, and what this essentially means is that by default, as you did in version 3, when you go to export, you export and make a copy of whatever it is that you're exporting. Well, with version 4, you can change this from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 to 10 to whatever, and that means that it will create 5 or 10 identical copies of whatever it is you're exporting. So for example, if you have a loop that you've slowed down 50% and you're going to make a copy of that, you might want to have 5 or 10 copies. So in this new file that you've created, there's some repetition created, so it will play back a repeated number of times, almost as if it's looping. And that's what this export duplicate count does for you. Another feature is the infinite resizing of the interface. In version 3, there was essentially a minimize and maximize size, and now you can go ahead and grab the GUI and you can drag the GUI in and out. And lastly, in version 4 standard, you will note that when you go to open files, that we have a new file format that we support. And that format, if you look here in the drop-down list, is a flac or FLAC file format. So that's a summary of the major changes found in the standard version. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the professional version. What you need to understand to start with is that all of these things in the standard version are clearly going to be included in the professional version. So everything we've just looked at, consider it included in the new version of Pro. In addition to that, the Pro version has a new EQ. It's a 31 band EQ that's built into it. And in addition to the 31 band EQ, if you take a look over here, we have about 60 presets. This new Pro version also has additional editing capabilities not found in version 3. It contains click and pop removal. It's got a mix down to mono from stereo. It can also convert mono files to stereo files, and we can also edit and change the sample rate. In addition to that, probably the biggest change is that when you selected part of the waveform file last time, you selected the entire file, meaning both left channel and right channel. In this new version, you can select either the left channel or the right channel, or both. It really depends on how you drag your mouse. If you drag your mouse in the center, you select both. If you drag it toward the bottom, you select the right. If you drag it toward the top, you select the left. Simple as that. The Pro version also contains a recording functionality built into it for the first time. And again, I'm just reviewing features, so I'm not going to go into detail on how to use this, but know that it's there. Version 4 Pro also contains foot pedal support, so if you're looking for hands-free operation for some of the basic functionalities of SongSurgeon, you can now use a foot pedal to control some of those basic functions. Another feature found in the Pro version are tunings. The standard tuning used for most music is 440 kilohertz, which is what you see here, but you can change that to alternative tunings that are found in some circles. For instance, if you go back several hundred years, go back to the classical era, there was a particular type of tuning used back then that's different than what's used today. And there are still some schools that use these different tunings. So if you're looking for an alternative tuning, you can find those in SongSurgeon version 4 Pro. Lastly, then, we have something called format protection, and that is a little button over here which is found in the pitch area. And format protection is really a fancy way of saying that if you use this, it largely eliminates the chipmunking sound that you hear in background vocals as you change pitch, and that is found in the Pro version only as well. So that concludes an overview of some of the changes found in the Pro version, and that really concludes this sneak peek video on version 4 for Mac. We're looking forward to getting this out to you, and it should be very soon. Thanks for watching.